Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Velocity channel, where this is your bridge to financial freedom. Today, we're going to go ahead and take out a gargantuan loan, and then we're going to pay it back really fast. Is that all right? We're going to pay back a lot with a little, and as you can tell with the Velocity banking method, that's just our MO. That's our modus operandi. That is how we do things around here. Before we take out this $80,000 debt, I want you to do something. Like, share, and subscribe so that everyone around the world can know the power of Velocity banking. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Here we have our loan, all right, for $80,000, right? $80,000. Maybe your loan is less. Maybe your loan is more. You'll be seeing in this video how you can take the little that you have and just shave years off of any loan that includes the mortgage, all right? And so we have $1,564 each and every month that you are going to be handing out. Now, pop quiz. Does the $1,564 go towards your loan? No, it does not. Some of it does, and some of it does not. Let me share with you what the bank's plan is for your life. The bank's plan for your life is to make sure that you pay as much as interest as long as possible so that you can buy them houses, you can buy their boats, you can actually finance their home, okay? That's the bank's plan for your life. But with this method called the Velocity banking method, I want to go ahead and pull you out of that, all right? So $1,564, let's first of all share where that is going. So if you're going to be paying the way the bank commands you to pay it, $1,564 each month, this is how it's going to be split up if you have that interest rate of 12%, okay? All right, now look, $800 in the first month, okay? And then that is going where? Interest, right? Now, the principal, how much is going to the principal? More or less? That's right, less. $764 goes towards the principal in the first month. Now, let's go ahead and skip ahead to the 12th month. If you're going to continue to pay like this is what it's going to look like in the 12th month. Let's just go ahead and designate a 1 here for the first month. 12th month there. $711 for the interest, $853 towards the principal. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that at least the bank is getting less as the months go by. And of course, that principal is getting more as the months go by. So if you see the gap in between this, what does that mean? That means the interest dollars have transferred towards the principal dollars. That's why you're paying more in principal, okay? More is going towards the principal. Now, the 24th month would equal $603. Remember, we're still on the traditional banking concept. And you are paying less as the months go by. But we want to share with you a better way. Let's finish this up first. $961 towards the principal. Then we're going to the 36th month. Okay, can you see that? All right. $482 towards interest. So the bank is getting less and less, but the bank is still getting your money at the 3-year mark. So $1,082 towards principal. I know. Listen, this was hard for me as well when I found this out and how my hard-earned money was getting split up. However, knowing is half the battle. We want to share with you a better way to allocate your finances so that you don't have to spend $1,564 each month needlessly to the bank in any way, shape, or form. I want that cash flow going towards you. We don't want you dropping the ball. Does that make sense? All right. Now listen up, because this is going to get very serious. When we take just $800. And I know, CJ, I don't have $800. CJ, I don't want to deploy $800. Listen, this is the thing. You're doing it anyway. What if there was a way that you could take those dollars that you're spending anyway, and there was a software that could say, hey, you know what? You've got money over here. Why don't you place that $200? Watch this now. Why don't you place that $200 to your offset account, to your deployment account? What's a deployment account? That's an account that you're saving up the money to eradicate heavy cash flow sucking loans. All right? So let's say $200 that week. Let's say $200 the next week. You found it. Or the software found it, right? And then let's say $200 the next week. And then $200 the next week. Listen, we're already spending this money that we don't say that we have, but we do. And just spending the money that we're already spending, right? Having this extra go towards this principle, I'm going to share with you what that looks like, all right? What that's going to look like is this. In the first month, in the 12th month, come on, in the 24th month, in the 36th month, this is what it's going to look like. Of course, in the first month, you've got the $800, okay, going towards the interest. The bank has to get theirs, all right? Interest means the cost of borrowing money. And there is a cost, isn't there? And that's okay, as long as we can pay that cost, all right? $800. Now, this is where it's going to get tricky. $1,564. Now, where did that come from? Remember, we're placing that $800 that we found each month out of our account towards something that is going to reward us, and we're going to share with you what we mean by that. This 800 extra, 800 plus $764 is going towards this principle. Now, I want you to notice, as we're doing this each and every month, what happens in the 12th month. And I want you to compare the Velocity Banking 12th month to the traditional banking 12th month. Watch this. Okay, now look at that. Look at the drastic difference. Okay, almost $100 difference. All right, when we are talking about $711, right, on the 12th month versus $619 on the 12th month. Now look at the difference between 800 and 711 and the 800 and 619. Drastic difference, right? CJ, how did you calculate the principal? Why is that going up? Remember, when you are hammering at this principle, what is happening to the principal or the interest rate when it's eating less and less? It's just natural, right? What happens when you eat less and less? What happens when your pets eat less and less? They get skinnier, right? And so that's what's happening, right? The cancellation of interest is taking place. Now, that interest that we were paying to the banks, we are no longer paying to the banks. Now, those interest dollars are going towards the principal. That's why we're only placing that $800 each month towards the principal, extra towards the principal. And this is such a magnificent increase. Watch what happens on the 24th month. Okay, here we have 603. And, oh, excuse me, not 603. It's actually 397. Oh, my goodness. Man, it's almost like we didn't want to believe it. So it's actually going to be 397. Now compare that to this one. Here you still got 603. Now what's the principal going to be? The principal is actually going to be $1,967. Then we have the 36th month. This is powerful. Guess what the 36th month is going to be? If we are hammering in increments. Each year, this one is going to be $148 that we're paying to the bank after 3 years, and $2,216 after 3 years. Folks, they wanted you out of that loan. When? When did they want you out that loan? Do you remember? 6 years. That's what that is. But what the banks are doing is what you should be doing. Ever notice how banks don't care about the interest rates? They don't care about the interest rates. A lot of them know that they think that we can't tell the difference between a credit card interest rate and a mortgage interest rate. They think that we can't tell the difference between a car loan interest rate and a mortgage interest rate. But now we can. And since we can, we're going to use their tools. We're going to use their methods. And we're going to say, wait a minute. I shouldn't be looking at the interest rate, because when I'm doing velocity banking, I'm not paying 12%. I'm getting out of this loan in less than 6 years. So forget this. We're not paying that. That's why we don't pay attention as much to the interest rates as we do time and balance. If you pay attention more to time and balance and use that as leverage as we have here, you'll notice that your car, your home, your investments, even your business, and all your student loans, they don't seem so big anymore. Why is that? Because, yes, we have debts, but when we pay this off super fast, where can we deploy this cash flow? You see, you need to start looking at cash flow like a soldier, like a squadron, like a battalion, like a brigade. This is your brigade right here. Where are you going to deploy your cash flow brigade? Can we just go ahead and term that? Yeah, let's go ahead and term that. Where are you going to deploy your cash flow brigade? Because we're taking over something. We're taking over something instead of it taking over us. And that, my friends, is what it's all about. Let's go ahead and get out of the way so that you can make sure you have a screenshot of that. If you have any questions, just let me know. Feel free to drop your spreadsheets. CJWallaceCoach.com. CJWallaceCoach.com. Drop the spreadsheets. You can actually get a free resource. Let me know. Once I get that email, drop your spreadsheets in there so that I can receive your email. I can receive that and then give you an answer. It's completely free. Listen, folks, I can't stress enough that when you allow money to work for you, it'll work for you. God bless you, and we'll see you in another video.